Star is still in stable condition at the hospital, and more is revealed from Carlotta and Cassie's father. Let's talk about Star, everybody. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is Star Season 5, Episode 14, and the name of this episode is Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound. So, well, that's not, I just added How Sweet the Sound. It's actually called Amazing Grace, y'all, but this was a really good episode, so let me get started. The episode opens up, there's this rival company called Scorpio Street Records who got these very expensive promos that they're playing on television. But as I was saying right now, as I mentioned in the last episode, Gravity Media is cash poor at this point, and they decided, to create an ASA Legends tribute concert to help, not only for them to make money, but then it also helped them to get, publicity, for the ASAs, and hopefully they can win some nominations. Well, they can actually win some awards, because they got many nominations, but so has their rival, Scorpio Street Records. They have a lot of nominations as well, so they neck and neck. And we actually see that Maurice and Carlotta are actually working well together. And he was saying that, hey, that Legends concert, that's a genius move. And she was like, honey, I'm the daughter of hustlers. Shoot, I'll fucking sell this air for $1,000 if you let me. So that was cool. And then, Noah, I'm sorry. So Maurice lets her know that, look, we got Take 3 and Gigi doing a throwback 90s thing. And he asks, so what's going on with Noah? And Carlotta's like, he's still on the bench. He's like, yeah, it's unfortunate. Then Cassie shows up, and she kind of knows, like, oh, Cassie, what you so happy for? You about to go on a date or something? I'm like, yeah, she got feelings for motherfucking Maurice. But you can definitely tell she feeling Maurice, and Maurice is definitely feeling her. So, but she says, I'm here to see my sister. So Carlotta and Cassie go talk, and they talk about Star, and, she, in this moment, talks to Carlotta about her son, and she tells him that you need to go talk to our father, and, because I just heard from mom that daddy may not make it. And she pretty much says, I'm not doing that. To hell with him, and you need to let this go. So we definitely see how sensitive this situation still is for Carlotta. Then we see Carlotta go to the hospital to find out about Star, and she's there with Simone, and they come to find out that Star has had a hemorrhage, and it can get worse, meaning she's bleeding in the brain, and that they have to do surgery. Well, one of the options that they can do surgery, or they can wait. Carlotta is all about the surgery, but Simone is like, I don't want the damn surgery. What if this surgery screws her up for the rest of her life and she can no longer see him perform? I don't want that for my sister. And they go back and forth and everything. Alex shows up while they're talking with the doctor. Alex immediately starts having an anxiety attack, and she leaves. And Simone and Carlotta going back and forth, and she's pretty much saying that you don't know that, Miss C. You don't know whether this surgery thing is going to work. And as far as I'm concerned, because Carlotta is not a legal guardian, it's left to her next of kin, who has to be 18 or over, which is Simone. So it's up to Simone. And Simone was like, I'm the one in charge here. I'm the one that's going to make the decision. And she's not having no damn surgery. So we just really see that, Simone was really going through it the entire episode. Because Simone was spazzing out on a lot of motherfuckers throughout this episode. Simone is just really going through it really hard, because the fear of losing her sister is really tearing her down. Then we get a scene that Noah is in rehab. He was saying that here was, I was attacking my father for not being a good dad, and here I was about to put my son in danger over some pills. I'm like, yeah, bruh, you need to sit in that. And we see that Miss Bruce is there, And so far, Noah is 12 days sober. But so then we get a scene where Miss Bruce and Noah talk, and she's pretty much saying that, and Miss Bruce pretty much tells him that, look, you can't be hanging out on my house forever. You finally need to come out. You need to kind of come out to the light and everything like that. But then she said that. But then she tells him that, look, shame was my worst hangover. The shame is what kept me in that space of doing drugs and all of that. But finally, it's like the shame kept me in the darkness that I didn't want to see the light. But now I get up, I put on my eyeliner, and I welcome the light, honey. And they have a good moment. He's like, are you going to tell my father about this? He's like, that's your place to tell him, not mine. But he says that, look, this is just a chapter. Now it's time to turn the page and do something different. So I thought, because I really love Miss Bruce and Noah's relationship, because she's one of those people that really gives it to him like it is. Along with Carlotta, she's another positive enforcement in Noah's life. So then we see that Alice comes back to the house. She's having an anxiety attack. Derek tends to her, and she was saying that, look, I went to the hospital to see Star. They start talking about surgery and all that, and I just couldn't take it. I just want to be happy. I'm thinking about the wedding and now Star. Like, it's just becoming too much. And Derek tells her, look, we don't have to tell anybody yet. We can just keep it between us. Then they get a knock on the door. It's Moses. Moses works for Alice's family, and he says, I was told to give this to you. It's a fucking prenuptial agreement. So, she pretty much was the one who told her mother, and now her mother done blabbed her mouth, and now the father knows about it, and they sent a prenup agreement making sure that Derek don't get none of Alex's fortune. And she was like, I thought you didn't tell anybody. She says, well, I told my mother, but I didn't even think, because, we're trying to work on our relationship, but I wasn't thinking that, my mother's going to run her mouth and tell the whole world. And he's like, okay, let me check GMZ. And sure enough, they are the running story about Alice Crane is getting engaged to Mr. Eggplant. Y'all remember the little video that old crazy bitch took of them and leaked it online, their sex tape. So then we see that Simone, talks with Carlotta. And Carlotta kind of tells Simone that, look, I respect whatever decision you make. But she says, but for me, it's hard not to mother y'all, because she promised Mary that she would look after her girls, just how Mary looked after Cotton when Carlotta was locked up. And she's pretty much saying that, I'm here for you, and I'll support whatever decision you decide to make. Then all of a sudden, we see that Alex is like walking, into the building to rehearse. There's this woman who is trying to interview her, and she's asking about the engagement and about Derek and all of that. Like, I don't see a ring. Is everything good? Everything okay? And I'm just looking at this bitch like, oh, this bitch got a serious agenda. And I'm thinking the agenda is that she's trying to get your man, Alex. But Alex says that, no, everything is fine. I'm happy. We good. And then Simone's like, oh, yeah, we're very, very happy. And all of a sudden, we see old girl kind of smile when she walked away. I'm like, oh, that bitch is trying to do some hoe shit. So we gotta watch her ass. I think she may pop back up, but definitely she got an agenda though. Because my assertion can be completely wrong, but I'm already seeing that, yeah, old bitch got an agenda, definitely. So then we see that Cotton has gotten the girls the salon from Leon's salon of trans girls. She got them staying at in Hyo's camper in the back, and she goes up in there. She's like, oh, I know you hoes ain't turning my daddy's trailer into a hoe house. She's like, first of all, we need to set some rules. Number one, don't be no trifling ass bitches. What the hell? And then she kind of looks, and the only girl that's there is Dior. Dior is the girl that she saved from Leon on the last episode. And Dior was the one that brought all the other girls to her, because that damn Leon literally beat all of them. Beat all of them up. And she was like, where are the other girls? And Dior was like, oh, the other girls left to get some money, and I'm about to do the same thing. I'm out of estrogen. And she was like, you can't be out here roaming the streets with Leon looking for y'all. Like, are you crazy? And she's like, look, we need things. Leon hooked us up with clothes, hormones, and breasts. I mean, why do you think we stayed with his ass all this time? I'm like, that damn Leon is evil as hell. And she was like, so you gonna leave anyway? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna be quick. I got a few Johns to look up, and they don't know nothing about Leon. I'm gonna be cool. I'll be back. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So then we see that there's a scene between Carlotta and Noah. He comes to Carlotta. He's ready to get back to work, and she's now ready to take him off the bench, which makes him agitated. And she pretty much says that, look, Noah, you need to take heed of this. We have had this conversation way too many times. And next thing you know, we see that Noah's mother shows up, and she's played by the talented Kimberly Elise. And I was just like, set it off, set it off, set it off. Because I think this is the first time I've seen the two of them in a scene together since that movie. But she pretty much, and we just definitely see that Noah is still in denial of how bad this situation really is. That you almost killed your son, and you have relapsed yet again. And it's like, he's just saying, I'm 12 days sober, I'm good now. I got the ASAs coming up, I got to take care of my son and all that. I'm like, boo-boo, you can't take care of your son because right now you can't take care of yourself. But then, here it is, his mother is there. He's like, Mom, what you doing here? I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And she tells him, like, look, when your dad left, I went through a dark path, and you should have never seen me like that. And he was like, but I can't deal with this, Mom. I'm good. I'm fine. I got the ASAs coming up and the baby. And she says, well, won't you let me help with Davis? And he's like, I'm good. And walks out. And I'm like, see, this is the issue with Noah. And I mentioned it before. Toxic masculinity. He is afraid to let people in, to let them know that he's not okay. He 12 days sober, and he acting like he been sober for 12 years. I'm like, bruh, just 12 days ago, you damn near killed your son when you became negligent, when you passed out after taking some pills. Like, bruh, this ain't no walk in the park. And you just can't brush it off like it's nothing. But it's that I gotta act like I'm tough even when I'm not really tough, on the inside. But I gotta put out this, exterior that I'm like a Superman and don't nothing fuck with me. And the mother, in a way, knows she is some of the cause of this, because due to and then not only the mother, but also Bobby, because Bobby is another example of toxic masculinity. Bobby done married a woman and had a kid when he knew he was gay from the jump, but because of the environment he grew up in, and he knew he wasn't going to be accepted, he decided to play the role to have the wife and the kid because that's what's accepted along. And yet you left your wife and your son, and now your son has developed that same toxic behavior that you represented. But then we see after Noah leaves, because Noah's in denial, and I just wanted to wring Noah's neck. I'm like, Noah, you need to get your shit together, bro. Because I love Noah. I really do like Noah, because Noah at the heart is a good person, but Noah has a lot of toxic behavior. Hence, hashtag toxic masculinity. So therefore, Noah's mom sits to talk with Carlotta, and she says, thank you for trying to set me up with my son. And she talks about, about giving birth to him and how she wanted the best for him. That she wanted him to be smart, to be kind, talented, and all those things. And, I wanted him to have the best that the world had to offer. But but then she said the world can be so hard. And then she says, and I wanted my son to have peace within himself. But yet, due to the fact that the world's hard, she was like, maybe I wondered if could he find peace if he wasn't in this world. And she says, what mother dreams that for her child? Because I think it's killing her that her son is hurting, and yet her son has constantly fallen back over and over again into the same situation. So we see Simone is with baby Davis. Alex shows up, and of course she reprimands Alice because she says, you haven't been in the hospital for a week. Star is really going through it. And Alice is like, look, I realize that, but right now we just need to focus on rehearsing and doing what we got to do, because they're supposed to be performing at this tribute event. Then all of a sudden Noah shows up, and he immediately goes for the baby. Shimon immediately shuts it down, and then all of a sudden he asks Alice, can they leave the room so they can talk? So Noah and Simone go back and forth, and she was letting Noah's ass have it. She was like, he's like, well, I just let you know that, I'm good. I'm 12 days sober. She's like, oh, congratulations. That's nice. But you not getting your son back. That ain't happening. And he's not going home with you either. Because he was saying that, I'm good. I can go back to Star's house and I got my son and we can make things happen. And I'm like, you want your son, but you're not ready to really be the father that Davis needs. And Simone just kind of lets him know that, look, you had your chance and you blew it. And if you want to screw up your life, that's fine, but you are not going to screw up Davis' life. So she's trying to break the toxic cycle. And then he was like, Simone, I'll call the police on your ass. You just can't take my kid. And she's like, yeah. And I'll call social services. They'll be at your damn doorstep in 2 hours. You want to play? And and she said that, and also, I filed temporary custody of him until Star gets out the hospital. So you need to grow the fuck up and get yourself together. You did this to yourself. And I was like, and then we see that Carlotta is looking from above. She's seeing all this go down. And I'm like, Simone is not to be fucked with at this point. She's mad about Star being in the hospital and that Star could possibly die. And the fact that you damn near killed y'all newborn son because of your drug addiction and you relapsed. Like, Noah is not fully understanding the seriousness of what he's done. He is a good man and he wants to be a father and he loves his son. That's evident. He loves his son, but you're not mentally stable, which is a problem. So then we see that Maurice has a moment with Cassie. They talk about the ASA, event, and that is going to be awesome. And then they kind of like, are kissing and smooching. So now she kissing his ass. So, and all of a sudden she was like, I'm just so glad that Xander's out of my life. And he said that I hope he doesn't, and she says, well, I hope it's for good. And, well, I hope he doesn't come back and I hope it's for good. And she's like, it is. Because I really do think that, yeah, Xander did kill himself and her goons got rid of the body. So I think Xander's dead. And then, but we still haven't seen the body yet, so we don't know fully. But I think the way Cassie moves, yeah, Cassie got rid of that damn body. So then they start playing En Vogue's version of Something He Can Feel. They start dancing and everything, getting all cuddly and all that. And then all of a sudden, we see that Gigi rushes in and she wants to talk to Maurice. And she says that, look, I can't do the tribute concert. He's like, look, you cannot do this to me right now. We need you, and I need you to be on your A. And she's like, look, I have been working like crazy since my aunt died. I'm drowning right now. And he's trying to comfort her and trying to let her know that, look, you need to get through this. Everything's gonna be okay, you know. And then all of a sudden, Cassie sees that they are getting touchy feely. She comes in and she's like, you need to watch your hands, little girl. And that Gigi hood too. And Gigi ain't no pushover. Gigi's like, bitch, don't nobody want Maurice's washed up ass. I was like, damn. And she was like, girl, you need to fucking fall back, cause no. And then Gigi was like, you know what? I'm about to leave before I catch a charge. And she was like, yeah, and you also about to catch this fade too. And she was like, boo boo. And then she tells Maurice, put her ass on the leash. Whoop, 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 bitch. I fell out. I'm like, that damn Gigi be having the best damn lines. And then this causes Cassie and Maurice to go at it. And he was saying that, oh, so because of all the toxic shit you dealt with Xander, you won't let and she's like, I have been through enough with Xander. I'm not gonna let another man play me. He was saying, first of all, I'm not Xander, and she's not even my woman. She's my artist. And she was like, so? And he's like, you know what? I ain't gotta explain myself to you. And she's like, you don't. But your ass will. I'm like, that damn Cassie always threaten her motherfucker. Cassie is not to be played with. But that scene between her and Gigi gave me life, because Gigi was throwing it back at her ass and was like, you need to put her on a leash. Whoop, 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 bitch. I was through. Alright, so then we get a scene with Carlotta and Noah. Noah comes to Carlotta telling her, can you tell Simone to stop tripping and all this shit? I'm like, nigga, she not tripping, you are. And she's like, look, she 18, I can't make her do nothing she don't want to do. And she's like, I'm not gonna let her take my son from me, you know. And she says that, look, right now you need to use this time to get your life together, trust me. And he was like, trust you? You the one that brought my mother up in here. You could have gave me a heads up. And she's like, oh, so I'm supposed to feel bad that I reached out to a mother who was trying to find out what's going on with her child? I ain't apologizing for that, boy. You crazy. But then she says that, first of all, you pretty much moving like a runaway train right now. You just million miles running and you have no destination. And I'm like, Carlotta, tell his ass the truth. And he was like, you know what? That's your issue. Like, you're real charming and you put on this demeanor that everything is okay, but in all reality, you need to get yourself together, and you need to get yourself together fast, because with the situation going on with Star, you need to step the hell up. And I'm like, you better tell him like it is, Carlotta. And he's like, I am, Carlotta. I'm trying to get back to normal. She's like, normal? Oh, so what's normal for you? Crashing cars, getting drunk, about to jump from buildings? That's normal to you? No, bruh. You don't need to be normal. You need a new normal. Something you've never done before. And I'm like, there you go. That's exactly what Noah needs. But Noah's like, but I'm not just gonna let somebody take my son and I don't do nothing about it. First of all, fool, she's not taking your son. She's putting your son in a safe situation so you can get your life together. But if you stop thinking about your feelings and use your brain, you will get that. But I said, toxic masculinity. Another problem that some of us men have in the community, where we lead with our emotions and not use our brains. And we talk about women being emotional. Ain't that a crock of shit? Alright, because toxic men are far more emotional than women, if you ask me. So, let's keep it moving. So then we see that Gigi, Simone, and Alex are rehearsing for the tribute performance. You know, Simone and Gigi get into it because she tells Gigi that she off. And they go back and forth, and she's like, Gigi, again, slaying them lines like, honey, you need to be grateful because I don't need this performance, unlike some people. So she's just feeling it and they both are going through it. She's dealing with the loss of her aunt, and Simone is dealing with the situation with Star. And even to make it worse, there's people outside of of the building, and they're kind of like holding the vigil as if like Star has died. So this is really fucking with her. And then we see that Gigi and Alex have a moment, and she says that, look, she tells Alex that she hopes that Star recovers, and that I know what it's like to have people you love not around anymore. And that's definitely something that Alex is feeling, but Alex is not trying to go down that road. She's like, let's just rehearse or whatever. So they go back to rehearsing. And then we see that Simone goes, meets up with Carlotta. Well, Simone runs into Carlotta. Carlotta is trying to talk to her about Star. She just blows it off and immediately goes outside and sees the fans. And she's like, we're going to pray for Star as well as her family. Simone sees them all having this candlelight visual. She takes one of the candles and lights up one of the posters that one of the guys had. And he's like, what the hell? She's like, my sister's not dead. Y'all been here acting like, treating this shit like it's a funeral or something. Get your asses out of here. And then we see that she breaks down and she runs off. She's like, I just want my sister back. I'm like, that part really got me. I was like, poor Simone. Simone is 18 and she's had to deal with a lot. And even more so because now she's being like the mother and caregiver to Davis. And she's got to deal with all this pressure. And it's just crazy. So then we see Alex, Noah, runs into Alex. And he's trying to get Alex to talk to Simone. She's like, I'm not getting in the middle of that at all. And he was saying that, well, I want to ask you something. What's the worst thing your mom did? And she's like, oh, besides try to sleep with you when we were dating? He's like, no, not that. I mean, like when you were younger, And she tells him about that she used to have this closet in the house that she grew up in. And she used to hide in it, when things got bad with her mother. And she says one time her mother had alcohol poisoning and Marisol had to call an ambulance. And I was so terrified that I couldn't leave that closet, And she showed me who she was that day, Noah. And that hasn't changed. I'm like, Alex, you fucking better do it. Because she gave Noah exactly what he needed to hear. She is a child of an addict, and even as of now, she's still dealing with that. So that should have been like the punch in the ass that you needed, that you need to get sober and you need to get better, or you're gonna create a toxic environment for your son, the same kind of environment that your mother created for you, and that was also spurned by the way your father left you in the family. Like, she's kind of letting you know that the way you're going to be just as toxic for him as her mother was to her. So I was like, that's what's up. So then we get a scene with Simone and Carlotta later the next day. Simone admits that she's mad at God and she doesn't know why God is punishing them. And she says, God is not punishing you. And you can be mad at God. It's okay. I get mad at God a lot. And she says God can take it. And he's like, she said that sometimes I got so mad that I just got on my knees and closed my eyes. And I didn't know what to ask for because I was that angry. But then they actually join hands and they pray. She's like, let's give it another try. Let's reach to him. And I'm like, that's good that she's, bringing the love of the Lord and, looking to God to guide you. So I was definitely team up for that. Then we get a scene with Maurice and Cassie. They're going Maurice and they're at Karma. Everybody's gone. And the new barback let Maurice in. And she's like, oh, I'm going to fire her ass. Because, Maurice just showed up and he's playing Aretha Franklin's version of Something He Can Feel. And he's like, come on, dance with me. He's like, nah, you gonna dance with me, girl. You're not gonna disrespect Aretha. I'm like, okay, I see you, Maurice. Maurice is making the moves. And he kind of lets her know that, you know what? You need to know when you got a good thing and not trying to find a way to sabotage it. And she was like, that's just been my life. Anytime anybody good comes in my life, I try to find a way to destroy it because I'm not used to it. But he was like, look, you need to get used to me because I'm now Xander, and you ain't gonna be bitching me around because I don't play those kind of games. I was like, okay, look at Maurice trying to make his play for Cassie. But I'm like, what's gonna happen when Carlotta finds out? That's gonna be the gag. And then we get one of the craziest scenes of this episode. And I am going to say before I get into this, Jackson, you out of line, you out of order. And I was so not here for what the fuck you did. So Noah goes to see Star. He goes in there. Star had Jackson's in there playing music. And he lets it be known that I've been coming here every day playing music for her. And he asks him, how's the baby? And he's like, oh, the baby's doing good. He getting big. He's like, so you gonna lie to me again, huh? And he's like, what? He's like, I asked you, were you still using? And you lied to my face. I know that Davis is with Simone. And he was like, oh, really, bruh? You pretty much didn't want nothing to do with Star after the baby was born, and now you want to come up here like you man of the year? I don't have to explain myself to you. And then all of a sudden, that damn Jackson gets all aggressive, like, yeah, I may not be a man of the year, but I know I can be a better father than you. And I'm like, see, why the fuck are you, like, just crazy? And next thing you know, they literally about to fight in the hospital room with Star being unconscious. The damn doctor called them and told them to get the hell out. I'm like, but at the end of the day, I was not here for Jackson doing that shit. You out of line and you out of pocket, bruh. You out of pocket like shit. Because first of all, you still got all of this anger and resentment because that baby was Noah's and not yours. And you wasn't really trying to deal with Star after it all happened, and you've been real distant. But so it goes to show that Jackson still loves Star, but you haven't really dealt with the situation yet. And here it is, you coming into the hospital with all this aggression against Noah. I'm like, boo-boo, yeah, you may be, but that ain't your kid. It's Noah's son. You need to deal with that. You need to own it and accept it and stop the bullshit. But then again, you know, Noah kind of needed that reality check. Like, bruh, you did the unthinkable. Like, you lost your girlfriend on the last episode because of this shit. She lost a child and knows, and she's still dealing with that grief. And the fact that you were just negligent, you almost killed your son. Like, yeah, it's messed up how Jackson came at him. But then again, he needed that because Noah needs a reality check. You walking around, oh, I'm 12 days sober. Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do, bitch. You can still relapse. Shit, the last time you were clean and sober for a good minute, and you relapsed again. So then we see that Carlotta finally decides to go talk to her father, and wants to know where's her baby. You know, what happened to her son. And she's like, look, you know, all this time when I was pregnant, I thought there was evil in me because of what you did to me. But then I realized there was no evil in me. The baby was innocent, just like I was. He was innocent and he was helpless. And you're sick. And you gonna die. So I forgive you. And then all of a sudden, because, you know, we know that her father's, you know, is suffering from Alzheimer's. So right now, he's not coherent. But then after she says that I forgive you, all of a sudden he wakes up and grabs Carlotta and was like, don't forgive me. Don't forgive me. You my stepdaughter. Cassie's my baby. And you wanted it. Used to sing all those love songs. And I'm not gonna tell you nothing. He's my kid. And I ain't gonna tell you nothing. She takes a pillow and begins to smother his ass. And before it could get to a point where it flatlined, she stopped. And she was like, no more. I don't need you. No more. And I was like, that motherfucking David is an evil piece of shit. Like, she wanted it? She was a child, you piece of trash. Are you serious? So, then we get the ASA tribute performance. Gigi, Simone, and Alex kill it, and they kind of do like a 90s rendition. It was very reminiscent of some of those 90s groups like TLC, Jade, SWV. It was given that kind of feeling. It was a great performance. Then we see Carlotta shows up. Carlotta is through, and immediately Cassie and Maurice, who were sitting next to each other, they notice something ain't right with her. The girls get a standing ovation. All of a sudden, they're chanting, take three, take three, take three. This has an effect on Alex, that Alex runs off the stage. Simone goes after her. Gigi's on stage by herself, and she takes it as an opportunity to pretty much say that, look, you know, I'm announcing that I'm going to go on hiatus and that I'm leaving Gravity Media. And we see Dan Maurice just like, damn. I'm like, look, she's trying to tell you that she's not in her best self and she needs time off. And after what she's been through, she does need a break. You know, it's affecting her artistry and it's affecting her as a person. So then we see that Alex and Simone have a conversation, and she was saying that she tells Simone, you were right. It just felt weird performing without Star, you know. And she pretty much tells Simone, I don't deal with these things very well, you know, based off of her past. And she was saying that, you know how me and Star are. We have a complicated relationship. Sometimes I want to choke the hell out of her, but you're my family. You know, you both are my family. You know, and she pretty much, and Simone lets her know, we're not going to lose her. Because I decided that, you know, I'm going to get her to have the surgery, and I'm going to tell the doctor tonight. So then after that, we see that Cassie's coming back to her office. She's like, girl, yes, we got a hit. You like, let's celebrate. This is a good night. And she sees that Carlotta's pissed. And she's like, and Carlotta lets her know, I could have killed his ass. You know, do you know he had the nerve to blame me and that I asked for it? A 7-year-old, really? That's why I was like, that damn David is an evil bitch. An evil motherfucker. Straight up. And she was like, and pretty much Carlotta was like, he can't get no more pieces of me anymore. And then I saw Cassie have this look, and she's like, and you'll never worry about him again. So she's like, so I'm like, oh shit. Then when it comes, then all of a sudden the next thing we see that Cotton hears all this noise in the backyard. She sees that fucking Leon done found Dior. He's roughing her up, trying to force her in the car. And she says that my John told Leon, so Leon done found her. See, she told your dumb ass not to fucking leave, and you did, and the motherfucker found you. And she was telling him, you better not hurt a hair on her head. He pretty much touches her head. It's like, I always come back for what's mine, and you better watch your ass, Cotton. You've been warned. I'm like, what the fuck gonna happen now? So I'm like, damn. So then we get a scene with Miss Bruce. She's in the studio. She calls Noah. Noah ain't answering his phone, so he leaves. So she leaves a message like, you know, she pretty much, you know why I'm leaving your ass this message. Your ass need to be in an AA meeting or something. And I know you got my other messages because I know your voice box ain't full. It's empty, just like Gravity Media's account. I was like, oh shit. Oh, right. I'm like, I love me some Miss Bruce. And then afterwards, she decides to call Bobby. She's like, Bobby, you need to get back here. Your son needs you. Then we get a scene with Cassie and her father. She's sitting in the hotel room, and he's like, I ain't got no more information for you. And she's like, I don't need it, but I'll get it. And then she goes behind them, gets the pillow, and was like, see, Lottie could have killed you. But that's Lottie's way of always looking out for everyone. So she couldn't do it. And, you know, she believes that, you know, vengeance belongs to the Lords. But I'm not Lottie. And smothers his ass, and he flatlines, and pretty much kills him, and she's like, bye, daddy. I'm like, see, that bitch, that fucking Cassie's my girl. But I'm like, yeah, she is like, you hurt this family. Toxic masculinity, yet again. But even more so, it was more sinister. Because he was evil. And was selfish. And was taking advantage of a 7-year-old girl. But she didn't tell Cassie that he was her stepfather. But he was Cassie's biological daughter. She didn't tell him that yet. She didn't tell her that yet, but I think that will come out later. So then we see that Carlotta, after that, we see that Carlotta's at the hospital with Star. She's looking at the birth certificate, so she's probably thinking about trying to find her son. And we see that finally Alex shows up with Simone. Alex apologizes for not being there, but Carlotta was like, we have to deal with things on our own time. But then Simone was like, but I'm happy you're here now. And then we see that Alex talks to Star, and she says that, we need you, we all need you, we miss you, and you need to come back to us. And then the next thing you know, and this was, she also told, Carlotta that she was going to tell the doctor that she was going to okay with her having surgery. But then, we get the moment, both Carlotta, Alex and Simone are looking, and Star opens her eyes, and that's where the episode ended. I was like, Star's alive, y'all. She ain't done yet. So I was so here for that. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Star. So until next time, everybody, take care.